it's just horizontally apply. See? Same thing with this. Look, good. See? Good, good, good. This, if I just go in and just hover over here, will it be here in the 3D world, or would it be just here? See how bright red it is? This basically means that I'm in UV shell mode. See, like that. This also needs to be flipped on the U. There. Perfect. These over here. Probably gonna grab a base mode, grab all of these. And then same thing with the previous. Hold shift, left click. I'm gonna turn it off for now so you can see better. Then hold shift and double tap. Boom. That way it grabs everything all around. Same thing like that. Create, planar, option box, on the Y, apply, boom. Okay, so it looks like that is that. If I turn this on, all blue, good. UV shell. Just gonna put it there for now. Edge mode, that is that, which is over here. This is that. So I gotta scoot this over. I just gotta remember it's this over here. This big one. UV shell, grab it. Zoom in. Close the outliner. Right click and hold, edge. So that is that. That is that. UV shell. I'm gonna go press D as in David. Hold V as in Victor. I'm gonna holding V as in Victor, snap it right there. Let go, press W. I believe it's supposed to be over here. This to this. Hold V as in Victor. Snap it. And this connects to that like that. Press R. Scale, 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 scale. Perfect match. Bam. Click outside. Edge mode. Drag select. Over here. Hold shift. Drag select. Hold shift. Drag select. Hold shift. Drag select. Drag select. Hold shift. Drag select. Hold shift. Drag select. Over here too. Hold shift. Drag select. Shift right click and hold. Move and so. Boom. Nice. These I'm gonna leave alone. Kind of not worth it because they're just gonna stretch. All right. Same thing with this. This is to that. This is to that. So I gotta remember here. UV shell, grab the shell. I believe it was this one, I believe. Edge mode, yeah. So, UV shell, press D as in David, hold V as in Victor, snap it. Hold V and snap it there. Press W, zoom in, hold V as in Victor, and snap it. Press R. Scale, 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 scale. Oh shit. Pull some more like around there. There. Perfect. Right click and hold edge mode. Hold shift. Drag select. Press Q to hide the controller. So still holding shift, drag select, drag drag select, drag select. Zoom in, hold shift, drag select. Shift right click and hold, move and so. There. Press 3 just to make sure. Oh shit, this over here. Edge mode, grab those. Shift right click and hold, move and so. Bam. That kind of moved. That's okay. It's gonna be a glass shader anyway. This. Yeah, so nice. Okay, good. Alright, good. Now you'll notice that it does this thing right there. So right click. Right click and hold object mode. And then what else? Well, first, well, I press 3, it still does this, so shift, uncheck that so I don't see the blue color. Shift, right click and hold, insert edge loop, option box, reset. Relative distance means that I can place the edge loop wherever I want. Here, since it does, when I press 3, you'll see this extra lines. That's because I have the insert edge loop tool, right? Just ignore these extra lines. It's caving in, so I need to add a supporting edge loop here, like around here, something like that. The moment I do that, press W, you can see the difference. Press 3. See, it's a little bit more firm. And it also added it here. I'll do the same here. Shift right click. If I do shift right click, it does this. I need to hold over the mesh, shift right click, and I can use insert edge loop. Dump it right around here. Press W to get out, press 3. See? Go back in. Shift right click, hold, insert edge loop. Dump one right in the middle, perhaps. Press 3. Yeah, just one in the middle is fine. Okay, good. Alright, got that. Press F. Alright, and that is done. Now for the inside inside liquid, press 3. Here, that's fine. What I'm gonna select this, right click face mode, select these faces. That's the inside. I'll do Control 1 so you can see the inside. With that being said, space bar into here. Right, space bar. We'll just grab those faces, right? Perspective. That's these. In one of these, I'm gonna do Control 1 again, so I only see this. Which is this. Now, what I'm gonna do is press 4. Never mind. So this, I'm gonna just hold Control, and out here, left click and drag. So when I hold control and I do a marquee box selection, it will deselect it. So I only have this selected of the inside. See? Then what I'm going to do is pull out the outliner, close that. So right now it shows that we're selecting a neck color thing. This thing should be, I don't know why it's named this, but whatever. But here it is, Control 1. That's the inside. Control 1 again, so you only see this. I'm going to go Shift right click and hold. And I'm going to choose Duplicate Face, meaning all these faces will be duplicated as a different mesh. When I do that, you'll notice something happen here. Let go. There. This is what happened. So I'm going to click outside. Right click. Wait. Just click this here. This basically means it's going to select things in object mode. This is going to select in face component mode, object mode. Then I'm going to just left click on this, drag that left click so it grabs everything. I'm going to delete history there. And there you have it. This is the original shell. I'm going to do Control 1 to get out of the isolate select. As you can see, I'm going to name it glass shell. Name this Control 1. This is the inner liquid. It's inverted, but before I do anything, I'm gonna name it inside liquid mesh. Okay. Once that's done, I need to flip it outside, because the liquid, reasoning behind is that the liquid, which is its own container, it's inside or its faces, right? It's also called something called normals. Its normals are pointing inside. Normals meaning that display polygons. Face normals. I'm gonna do Control Shift left click. See, this tells us that it's inside, like this. These lines means that the faces are looking inward. Black means it's inside out, like that. Whole point is this whole thing needs to be flipped out. So I'm gonna go, I have this selected, click on the reverse, there. Now, if I select it, you can see the normals are pointing out, while the inside is inside. And now when the glass interacts with the liquid, and the liquid is pointing outward, that means its color and its shader properties are pointing outward for the liquid. And then you have the glass on top of it, and when the lights interact with it, that's when the magic happens. Blah blah blah. I need to get rid of the cactus lines, so I'm gonna click on that again. There. Goddamn freaking allergy. And then fuck. Select this, Shift right click and hold. I need to fill the hole. Bam. Actually, maybe not. Undo. I'm gonna grab both of it like this. Left click and drag, select both. I'm gonna hover over it, middle mouse click on it, middle mouse do not let go, middle mouse drag it out. Boom. Get rid of this crap, press backspace. There you go. Inner liquid, Control 1. Okay, so this is what we got, glass shell. This is the inside liquid, right? Glass shell. I'm gonna undo to bring this back. Inside liquid, control 1. Select it. Back, space bar, control 1. So only see this. As you can see, the pivot point's down here. Press D as in David, hold V as in Victor, snap it right there, press W, get out. Good. Control 1 to get out of isolate select. Space bar into here. I still have isolate select set to on. Right click edge mode. So that's that. I'm gonna, I need to check the color on this. The liquid mesh is inverted. We shall select the freaking shell. I'm gonna flip on the U. Yeah, on the U, good. I need to, I don't want to see the blue color. Check that. Close that, close that. Right click edge mode, double tap. Shift right click and hold, extrude edge. All I'm gonna do is just press R. So it's still, the function of having extrude edge is still live, that functional tool, because you can see it here. But now since I press R for the scale, I'm using the default scale tool to manipulate that extrude edge in. And I do it this much. Well, here, actually make it tighter because it's liquid and I don't want it to have a soft transition of a curvature because it's liquid. Liquid does not bend and curve. This is good. Because this much here, but not anything tighter. Oh shit, this thing's crooked. Spacebar. Anyway, so I did that. Just in case, this should be fine. Right click, object mode, grab it. Here, do control 1. Zoom in, see the dented shit. Right click, vertex mode, grab all of that, press R, smash it flat like a pancake. There you have it. Nice and clean. Object mode. Fuck. God damn. Alright, so I have to pause the video and clear my nose. So that's done. Here, right click edge mode, double tap, shift right click and hold extrude edge, press R, okay, extrude in, shift right click and hold extrude edge, press R,